Welcome Libra, this is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I'm getting ready to do your full moon in Virgo lunar eclipse reading for March the 3rd. There is a lot of astrological energy, and of course Venus is combining with the Sun and Mercury in Pisces as these planets oppose the full moon in Virgo. So Mercury is the ruler of Virgo and is retrograde. And this is really expanding an already universal ask for us to pause, to refrain from a lot of external energy, but instead to be introspective, to review what we believe we are moving forward on, to rethink some things, to make adjustments, and to integrate what we have learned, the changes we've made into our plans for moving forward. I've used a couple of oracle decks, and I'm going to start with the Energy Archaeology Oracle, one I'm loving immensely. And I pulled for you the card Expectation, and I'm going to read from the guidebook. The key words when in balance is foundational and guiding. And the bones, this relates to parts of the skeleton that it's describing in our anatomy, are the maxilla, the bone of the upper jaw. It forms the hard palate, the lower eye sockets, and sinuses. So these keywords are foundational and guiding, and I'm going to read from the wisdom. Expectation can feel stabilizing. It creates an argument both energetically and logically that since something that has occurred before, it will likely happen again. A pattern will repeat. A behavior can be anticipated. Familiar actions will bring familiar results. Expectation carves rules into the earth element and expects them to stay as they are. It pleads for stability over innovation, denounces what is unknown. It demands that your life look the way it always has, whispers that you cannot change your vision or dream bigger, because you have no foundation on which to build. You can only allow what you have known before, what is safe. Dreams are silly, inspiration foolish. After all, how can you trust something with no historical precedent for a result? You can become stuck in expectation, but remember, energy is always flowing. There's no such thing as a block, only something you're not yet willing to allow. Change your vision, walk a new route, have new conversations, take a risk on that idea, follow your dream. Sometimes a small movement is all you need to create flow from stagnancy. The Grand Canyon is proof enough of this. A single drip over enough time can release the illusion of solidity. Release the illusion of expectation and see what opens to you. Beautiful energy. And for many of you, this lunar eclipse is highlighting an area of your life that rules endings, releases, surrender, what you've learned so far. And of course, the door closing is about releasing or triggering a door to open. The sun and the moon as part of a full moon reading, the present, past, and future, and I'll clarify those with another tarot deck and finish up the reading with another oracle, the yogic path. So for your sun energy, we have the judgment. The judgment is about making a major decision, a big decision as a result of your understanding better what your purpose is, what your goal is, what you want to achieve, what in fact you're here to achieve. You're in your power as a result of understanding the part you play. Understanding that everyone has a part to play. And this, in some ways, can be overwhelming I believe many of you are on this path of alignment and have been for a while, but it's as though you are pieces are clicking into place in terms of your better understanding of challenges that you've had to face repeatedly. There's a pattern that is starting to open up its mysteries to you. And in some ways, this is part of the power of the alignment that you are gaining by not expecting things to be the same. Things are unfolding differently, and you are learning, allowing your body to learn, your mind to learn, to feel new things, to experience new alignments, to have a new emotional response, new emotional pathways that are opening up to you as the past takes up less and less of your space. The energy of the moon is the Four of Wands, and this is really a beautiful card in so many ways. Sometimes it's called the 1111 card, like wish fulfillment in a partnership, a wedding, a portal of happiness. But in a deeper sense, I think it speaks to the establishment of new social, emotional, even cultural foundations as part of a group, a team, a community, so that one recognizes that life is learning, and that the participation in that, the engagement with that, and the celebration of that is really what this portal, what this establishment speaks to. This is something that positive that can be created with and among differences, and how the commonality of growing, of supporting the growth of others in your community creates its own force, its own ground or basis for celebration, for things to arrive, for services to be delivered in a way that is supportive of all those who participate in. In the present, we have the King of Swords. This is really about the way in which you are taking your own ideas, your curiosity more seriously. I think this idea that you are unfolding to things that have seemed set in stone to you, patterns that seemed unrelenting, unchanging, maybe the attitudes of others or the energies that you felt yourself embedded in have seemed cold and impersonal, and in a way your curiosity is melting that. It's the way in which you are welcoming new ideas, you're having new conversations, you're asking new questions, and you're encouraging others to do the same. So this is about recognizing that your truth is still unfolding for you, and that truth may come as a series of revelations. They may be small. They may be nuggets in a conversation. They may be an idea from a book that you're reading. Whatever they are, the realm of ideas, conversation, language is rich for you, and something that you may be engaging in a way that gives you some kind of leadership or authority. In your own life, absolutely, but in terms of a community or a team of collaborators you're working with. In the past, the Hermit is about really a deep period of really sinking into your own authority, asking questions within yourself. This is before you're asking others. It is your own process of introspection and reflection that has empowered you to recognize that the authority to do what's right for you is yours and yours alone. That whatever you learn, you are sharing with others. And this is the setup to this idea that you are engaging in new ideas now. This is part of how you teach what you've learned, model what you have learned to others, so that you're in a position now to ask the questions of others that you've been asking of yourself, and allowing for the unfoldment of opportunities or possibilities that you have begun to experience in your own life. And in the future, we have the Six of Pentacles. This always feels like one of your cards. Sixes, balances. This is about the energy exchange in all areas of your life that you're experiencing. This is about equity, fairness, mediating truth, facilitating truth, distributing resources to others, being in a position to recognize value in others as you assert your own value, as you learn to ask for what you want in clear terms, that you understand that what you want is the beginning of conversation, the beginning of a contract, that you necessarily understand and are extremely skillful at negotiating. Compromise is your middle name. You get that. You're able to see at least two sides of a situation, if not more. But you also understand that establishing your value is your job. It isn't someone else's job to guess what you want or what you need or what you feel would suffice for you. I love this because it encourages you to think bigger of your own contribution. If this reading is resonating for you, Libra, please like, share, subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. Thank you to all of you who give me so much love in the way that you do. And I know it's not a lot of you that are here with me at this reading, and that's what makes the generosity of your spirits all the more beautiful to receive and to behold. So I thank you for all of that. And for the Hermit card, I'm going to clarify in the past with, again, the Four of Wands, a repeat there. I dare say some of you are getting married. In the present, the King of Swords is clarified by the Page of Wands. And for the future, the Six of Pentacles and is clarified by the Ace of Swords. Pulling out another card. I don't mean to be stingy, but I do want to be pithier and more concise in my readings, and I hope pulling fewer cards will aid that as the messages do become repetitive in a way. So in the past, the Hermit is clarified again by this wish fulfillment card, the Four of Wands, the 1111, double happiness, double blessings. In that way, because you are a Libra, Venus, the sign of the scales, justice, this really relates to some social, active community project that you are working on, that you have already established socially or emotionally in your life, so that you have been working towards something that you are achieving in a variety of aspects incrementally. Your goal is strengthened as you have already set the cultural foundation for this goal. Those people that you have chosen to work with, your community of network, those resources that you have identified that you want to build upon. There's something here that is flourishing, and again, that you have been celebrating at various stages. It feels like the nature of this project is aligned with some kind of land reclamation, some way in which you are utilizing land, property, a community center or organization, something that is held community by the community, even if it belongs to you or it belongs to someone, it is owned by someone. So this is really powerful energy and can relate to any number of projects that are meant to be for the greater public good. Many of you are social workers or you're artists and you work towards the edification and the glorification of community resources, identifying resources in the land, history of land, history of inhabitants of the land. Powerful here. In the present, the King of Swords is clarified by the Page of Wands. Wow, there's a burst of energy coming through from you. You may have gathered troops of interns or students or audience members that are keen to listen to your story of whatever it is you're creating, listen to your presentation, listen to your words. This is and can be about the peers, the collaborators you work with that are inspired by your message, by your model of curiosity, opening up to new ideas, looking for alternatives, eager to retrofit your project in a way that is accommodating the inclusion of a diversity of people, that no one is left out. And this is really inspirational in infusing your efforts with this youthful, highly relevant awareness and practice that is making your project particularly appealing to younger generations. And in the future, the Six of Pentacles is clarified by two cards, the Ace of Swords and the Four of Swords. This, in some ways, takes us back to expectations, because the amount of pursuit of your truth is leading you to a variety of illuminations, of clarity, of understanding in a deeper way the relevance of what you are doing to the truths, the experiences of others. And this is important to you because what you're creating is for others. And so it's important that it be in alignment with the needs of others. This, in some ways, is about the work that you've already done in a way that could be called a needs assessment, right? What is the need for the service you're providing? And in part, it is somewhat full circle for you because the nature of this project, the nature of your gratitude for the opportunities that you are bringing to a community began in perhaps a painful story of your own, a sense of unceasing challenges, disappointments, being let down, being rejected by others. And sometimes this is really about being rejected by loved ones. And this is not just one heartbreak. This is a pattern of rejections that you've come to understand are part of what has steeled you, given you the experiences and the understanding for what it is you're creating now and who you have become, so that you understand these experiences were all for you. They weren't to you. And for that, you have gratitude now as your basic spiritual foundation. I'm going to finish this reading with a yogic path oracle. I'm going to take a ahimsa that kind of fell out. And I'm going to read from the Yogic Path Guidebook. And ahimsa relates to nonviolence. You've been observant of how your thoughts affect your actions and how your actions reflect the quality of your life. Through actively changing your internal monologue, you're manifesting a heightened state of consciousness and a new paradigm. Continue to fine-tune your inner language to radiate compassion, joy, and peace. Even the most disciplined yogis still look in the mirror and think negative thoughts about themselves, get frustrated when stuck in traffic, or speak words to a loved one that don't radiate pure love. These moments are your guru, reminding you of where you still need to grow. Overcoming your triggers facilitates growth. Each time you feel the voice of negativity come through, sing back to it words of compassion. You'll quickly find these words echoed back by all those you encounter. Thank you so much, Libra, for this beautiful reading. And until next time, namaste.